What's happening, guys? I figured I'd just do something a little different if you guys are interested in watching. Something not math related, but I figured I'd just show you guys me making pizza. So I've got, this is Friday night, so check it out. I've got this dough right here that my sister made. We let it rise, and I'm just gonna show you guys what I do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this oil spray right here and kind of spray down this little deal. And then, wash your hands always. I'm gonna wash my hands. I already washed my hands, but I'm gonna oil up my hands a little bit because if I don't, then this dough is gonna stick to my hands and it sucks if it does. So I'm just gonna let gravity kind of take over on this dough and pop, it just pops down. Here we go, dough on steel. So now I'm gonna go and move him to the center a little bit, kind of pat him down a little. I did let the dough sit out for a little bit. And that way he can warm up. That way he becomes a little more flexible. And now from here, I just kind of spread the dough out. And I know it's hard to see. I'm a one-man camera company right now. And so, I don't move the dough so fast, because if I do, I risk tearing the dough. And there are few things in life that get me more upset than torn dough. So I'm gonna try to keep my back to you guys. But yes, as I rotate the steel, I bring the dough out. And again, I learned this from when I was working at Costco. So yeah, I'm not as good at it as other people are. I was really good at pulling the pizza from the oven, cutting it up, and delivering it to people. But as far as the actual making of the pizza goes, I would leave that to my old friend Dana. She was really good. The best team at Costco that year was Dana and Debbie making pizza. And then it was, I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound arrogant here, but then me on the corner. That was a good team. That was a really, really good team. And so, those two ladies, they taught me a lot. And actually, we all went to San Diego State together also, and it was pretty cool. It was cool working together and then seeing each other at school from time to time. So from here, this is what the dough is going to look like when it's all pressed. See it kind of lays out all over the whole thing. I'm not going to tilt it too much because it's going to fall off and everyone's going to laugh at me. But yeah, so I'll let it sit out there for a second. Now, ordinarily, what you're supposed to do, especially when I worked at Costco, is I would take a roller that had spikes in it and I would roll it across. That way it doesn't develop any holes. This one here doesn't really develop any, the holes are what allow for the air to escape. Otherwise, you end up with bubbles in your pizza. I've never had a problem with bubbles in the pizza before, so I won't poke holes in it. From here, I'm going to move you inside. I don't like you. Take this spoon. I've got my cool garlic, and this is actually pasta sauce. So I'm sorry, I don't have pizza sauce, but you know what? Tomatoes are tomatoes, no matter how you cut them up. And I'm going to just shake this dude up like this, and then I'm going to move this dude into the I'll move him out of the way, into the sink. I'll wash you later. And then I open him if I can, because my hands are greasy. And then I got my garlicky sauce right there. Actually, before I pour this guy on, I'm going to spread him out just a little bit more. I am a thin crust person. I don't know how you guys like it, but I've never been a Chicago deep disher. But that doesn't mean that stuff isn't good. I've just never been a deep dish guy. Thin crust has always kind of been my thing. You can leave comments in the comments area to tell me what kind of pizza person you are, or if you like pizza at all, and maybe you think it sucks. Who knows? But yeah. So from here, I've shaken up the sauce. I'm gonna pour sauce in the middle. Now this was always the most time-consuming part of making pizza at Costco, was spreading the sauce, and I was never good at this. I was actually pretty good at laying out the pizza dough, but making sure the sauce was even. I feel like Dana and Debbie, they tried as hard as they could, but I could never, and I could do it, but I could just never get it done as fast as they could. They'd be done by now, and I'd still be sitting there trying to make sure that it hit the edges, and you gotta make sure that it goes all the way to the edge. That way you can maximize or optimize for a local maximum the amount of sauce that you're using. Now, obviously, I don't think I put enough sauce on here, so I'm gonna put a little bit more. So yes, their DA over DT is pretty good. you know. Oh no, that's related rates. What am I thinking? No, their dA over dx is good. And so yeah, related rates is rate over time. What am I thinking? I cannot do calculus and make pizza at the same time. I have learned that today. And so yeah, here we go. I'm just gonna keep on spreading this around. Now the important thing is to make sure that the sauce actually goes as close to where the crust will be as possible. And that's what I'm doing here. Is I'm trying to make sure the sauce actually hits the edge of the not the absolute edge, because remember, you know, pizza crust actually has to be a thing. And so I feel like this would be good enough. Now I'm a thin sauce kind of person. I like pizza sauce, but I don't want to be drinking it through a straw as I eat pizza. So I feel like this is enough for me. Now I'm gonna kind of do that a little bit. Now there was one time I did this really hard and it went pop like that, and then the sauce went into this guy Justin. He was also a good pizza guy. We were always a good team. Went into his eye. And he got so mad at me, and I was, you know, what do you do when you're 20 and all you do is make pizza and go to San Diego State and, you know, act like a fool. Okay. Oh, by the way, this is what it looks like all sauced. So you see how, actually, you know, maybe I'll move the camera over instead this time. I'll move the camera over, and that way I can give you guys a bird's eye view. So if you look at it, right? So let me see. If you look at it, you see how like it's pretty much close to the edge where the crust would be. I think that works out pretty well. Okay, let's keep this video going here. So we'll lean them up against the wall. All right, so now cheese. You know, making pizza is actually pretty easy, and you know, as the weeks go on, if you guys are interested, maybe I'll make more cooking videos. I'll just throw down the whole shebang. Now at Costco, I forget how much cheese you actually put on, but usually they would just throw down a couple of handfuls of it, and it was pretty good. And so the cheese, just like the sauce, you have to optimize the amount of cheese that you're using. And so, you know, Debbie used to say, make every shred count. And I could never do that. Like I said, I was not a good pizza maker per se, but I was a pretty good pizza puller. Like, you know, like pizzas would rarely get backed up in the oven on my watch, and that's actually really hard to do because if you ever look inside the ovens of the food court, they are on a conveyor belt, and if you don't pull the pizza off fast enough, what happens is that they start backing into each other, and then they start to compress each other because you know, because there's a guardrail there that does not allow the pizzas to fall off. So what they do is they end up traffic jamming each other, and then pizzas get backed up. And when I was first starting on the corner, there were a few times when the pizzas would back up, and I would be like, I would be very, very frustrated because I felt like I couldn't, or I'd lose track of people's orders, and people would be waiting an extra, you know, 10 minutes for pizza. And while that doesn't seem like a long time, I will tell you, they were pissed at me, and they had some choice words for my competency as a pizza puller. But you know what? Like all things, we make mistakes, we learn from them. I ended up becoming pretty fast at it, and yeah, and here we are. And now I'm a calculus teacher, so you know, and so you know, that kind of stuff happens. Okay, so since I did not plan on opening that second bag of cheese, but since I did, I'm going to throw a second layer of cheese on top of the pepperoni, just a light one. Kind of like, it'll remind me a lot of the pizza that I had when I was in middle school, a place called Du Bois Pizza at Lemon Grove Middle. That was pretty good. That was the pizza that was served at our 8th grade dance. Okay, now I will not throw down the pepperoni in a V formation. Oh, I gotta show you the pizza with cheese on it. Okay, here we go. Pizza with cheese. Now, I could actually just stop right there and actually just call it a cheese pizza, and it would be fine. Now, honestly, like over here, there could be a little bit more cheese closer to the edge. You know, like I don't know how even this is. You know, we'll see how that turns out. And I don't even know if you can see that because I can't see the camera. Okay, now unlike Costco this time, because the pizza I was never good at this either. I'm not going to throw the pizza down in a V formation. I'm just not going to do it. I could never do that, and honestly, it's fine. I can live with that, not being able to do the pepperoni in a V formation. In fact, I never spent enough time making pizza to understand how to do it. They kicked me off pretty quickly because they just needed, you ended up, it was a big division of labor there. So those of you who are in sociology will understand the division of labor from Emil Durkheim. You do what you're good at, and I was good at the corner. So they said, Michael, you're on the corner. And I said, can I learn how to make pizza? And they said, why don't you do the corner? And I said, yeah, but I've done the corner for a year and a half now. Can I learn how to make pizza? Well, the corner sounds pretty good, so we'll just keep it there. It's fine. It's totally fine. But yeah. No, for those of you who don't know, I was actually, going to San Diego State. I was a sociology major. I was not a math major. And so, my interest in math didn't really happen until my 20s after I had taught for 3 years in Japan, which is a whole nother story. Spent 3 years teaching in Japan, wanted to be a teacher when I came back, found out that history teachers or sociology professors, which is what I wanted to be. I was PhD track for about a week. I didn't want to do research. That was just not my thing. I wanted to teach. That was where I wanted to be. I wanted to be a teacher. And one of my professors at SDSU had told me that basically, unless I become a professor at a low-end community college out in the Midwest, there was basically going to be no job for me with a sociology PhD. And he said if I really want to be a teacher, I should probably go into teaching like regular school. And that's when I was like, okay, well, with a sociology degree, I could probably teach history or something. And originally I went for my CSET in history, did not pass the first test. You have to pass 3 tests. I did not pass the first one. I barely missed it. Let me show you the pizza with the pepperoni on it, and then I'll continue jabbering on, I mean. Yeah, pizza with pepperoni. There you go. I don't really like that rogue tomato there on the bottom, towards the bottom right, but, we'll deal with him. We'll deal with him in a little bit. But yeah, so I ended up, wanting to be a history teacher, didn't pass the first CSET, which is the battery test to become a teacher. But my friends were saying, hey, it's a good thing you didn't pass anyway because, there's no jobs for history and English teachers anyway. Those are really hard to come by because, there's so many applicants per one position, and I believe that's true. They said that you could teach math, science, or special education. And I said, well, I was really bad at math in high school. Really, really bad. But I said, let me give this math thing a try. When I took the GRE to get in the PhD program, I actually scored pretty well on the math. Having said that, that's like, the math level's like nothing much higher than linear equations. But I felt like I could do it. So I said, all right, I'll give it a shot. So here I am, math teacher, pretty cool. I like it. I actually, having been a math teacher for almost 9 years now, I don't know if I'd teach anything else. I think it's pretty cool. The idea that you can, that this stuff applies to the physical world is pretty neat. And honestly, watching you guys gain confidence at it is probably the best thing about it. Those of you who are like, man, I never thought I'd ever learn how to do calc, and then you come out of, it doesn't have to be my class, but like if you have any other teacher, and then you figure out how this calculus works, it's pretty neat. And I'm not even going to sit here and claim that I know how all of it works, but I have a pretty decent idea. I'm okay. I'm okay at it, and and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. Plus I get to connect with you guys, make these ridiculous videos about me making pizza, and boom. All right. Oh, crud. so this is the product right here. So from here, this is what the pizza is going to look like. Actually, no, that's not true. I'm going to sprinkle, I think I'm going to sprinkle some bruschetta sauce on it, and I'm hoping that that doesn't ruin it. So fingers crossed here. Okay, let me find out. Not bruschetta sauce, but bruschetta, not bruschetta, what am I thinking? Bruschetta seasoning mix. Now, it normally goes to like chicken and pasta and stuff like that, but yeah, I bought it from Costco. I will now sprinkle it onto this pizza. And do me a favor, just cross your fingers and, you know, pray that it's going to turn out okay. Again, you know, I go back to the crust. It was not made by me, and it's not store-bought either. My sister made it, and it was very generous of her. I appreciate it. And so from here, I'm going to move this dude up like that. Hopefully it doesn't fall. And then I'm going to sweep down the crud, the mess that I made. Try to clean as you go. It's a lesson from Costco and from SeaWorld. You know, all the places that I worked in food services when I was a student at Grossmont Community College and San Diego State University. And I'll put that dude back. And I will take this guy outside because this pizza is actually going to be put on the grill. So, yeah, let's do it. Okay. Oh, sorry. Close up of my neck there. Sorry about that. I should give you guys this view instead. That way you guys can see where we're going. Okay. So this is we're gonna be going to my backyard here. So. Okay. This is the grill. This is the grill area, and so I hope you guys can see it. See, that's the grill. Yeah, this is my backyard, and it's hard to see. It's dark. You know, it's kind of late, but I just got off the phone, and so, all right, let's unveil this thing. It looks like this. Unveil, and I do this. A couple of crickets down there. That's okay. I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to flip the camera around. That way you guys can see what I'm actually doing. So I'll be back. All right, so here's the propane tank. I'm gonna unlock it so that it does that. And now what I do is I activate each gas thing, keep this thing closed. You heard that sound, that's the sound of fire exploding. So there goes the grill. I'm gonna let it preheat for a little bit, and then I'll throw the pizza down on it. So when it's preheated, I will be back. All right, a few minutes later, that is the internal temperature of this grill right here. Of course, it's not gonna sit at 600, that would fry the pizza. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn these guys down. The setting that I usually use, since I put the pizza in the center of the grill, is I will turn up the ends a little bit more, just so I can get a little more ambient heat, for lack of a better term. And now I just open this dude up, and I've never done this one-handed, so I hope I don't burn myself, but that was really hot right there. I'm going to take this pizza right here, and I'm gonna put him down like this, bam, like that. And then I'm gonna close the lid, and I'm gonna set a timer for 15 minutes, and then I will check on it. 15 minutes later, this is what the pizza looks like. And so it's a little crispy, but that's okay. I actually like crispy pizza. It's kind of a thing. I like my pizzas a little well done, so I just deactivate the grill. And then I will turn off the propane tank. Turn that off. You don't want running gas. And so I'm gonna put one of these gloves on. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can do this one-handed. Okay, I'm gonna do this gloveless for a second. I'm just gonna do one cut real quick. What I'm gonna do is I cut the pizza on the grill, and actually now that I say it, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this one-handed. So yeah, I'll just come back when it's all cut up. So be back in a second. And here it is all cut up. Now I had to hold on to this thing. It was really, really hot, about 500 degrees, but I used the trusty of glove as seen on TV. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm gonna bring it inside, and yeah, come with me. I'll bring it inside here. Hopefully I don't drop this thing. There you go, that's what it looks like in the light. In the light. And so yes, I also went to Costco and bought some fruit snacks. And so let's see, let's open you up. There you go. Hey, that's Bart from Final Fantasy V. He hangs there. Okay, let's put you down. Whoop. close that door. And now I'm gonna open up where it all began on this table. I'm gonna put this guy down. I'm gonna put the phone down for a second here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna put the phone down, sorry. Remove the of glove. And I'm gonna grab a plate. Now the first one I'm going to eat will be topping-less, but usually I like to do, I'll go with ultra thin. Owie! I will put, like, you know, Tabasco sauce or crushed red pepper or something on it. Yeah, I grabbed a pretty crispy one. It's hot. Let me see, how hot is it? It's hot as hell. That's okay. It will go horizontally asymptotic with the room temperature in a little bit. That is Newton's law of cooling, for those of you who don't know that. So let's go ahead and flip the camera around, and then I will show you guys me eating it. So here's the pizza. Here I am. Ooh. Oh. Oh. That's hot. I like it. I'm not trying to give myself a pat on the back, but I like it. It's pretty good. Oh, my hand. Yeah. And that's making pizza. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I might do one every Friday just to kind of hang out and have you guys get to know me. This is what you would get to know about me if we were not doing distance learning. So yeah, good hanging out with you guys. Hope you guys are staying inside, staying healthy. And I will see you in the next episode.